Hi everybody, I'm Stefan for Aetuts.com, and in today's tutorial we are going to create a cool action title sequence in Cinema 4D and After Effects. So let's get started. First of all, let's go to MoGraph and select Mo Text and click it. And now let's type our text, which is Aetuts Plus, and let's change the font to the original Aetuts Plus font, and let's change the depth to 100, and let's change the subdivision to 5 so we have some geometry here, and let's align the text to change the alignment to center or middle, and this is it. Now we need to go to caps and set a fillet cap for the text and click constrain. So because if we don't click this, you can see that when we add the fillet cap it expands the letters, so we need to click constrain so it maintains the original size of the type but adds the fillet caps. And now we need to set the radius to 2 and the steps to 3 so we have a smooth round edges or bevels, and we need to set the spacing to -5 so it's a bit tight. And once we are ready with that, we need to create a shader for this, so let's double click to create a material and let's call this silver, and just click on reflection, make the color black and go to the reflection, and let's set the blurriness to 15%, and let's set the minimum samples to 32, and let's set the accuracy to 60%, and maybe set the maximum samples to 96. So we have a blurred silver material, and let's close this and let's apply the material to the text, and if we render you can see how it looks like so far. So we need to add something to reflect our text. So let's open the HDRI Studio Pack from Grayscale Gorilla and add the studio rig to our scene, and let's open the studios, and let's see, we are going to use this studio right here, and let's go to the rig and just drag the HDR here, and basically you can create your own custom HDRI and put it onto a sky object and do your render. So let's make a quick render to see how this one looks like, and as you can see it's pretty intense one, so we need to reduce the brightness just a bit like so, and probably to rotate this. Let's try to rotate it to see. That's what we're looking for, some nice highlights here. And now what we need to do is to create a camera, so let's just create a new camera and let's turn it on and go to the coordinates for the camera, and let's zero out the rotation and position, and basically let's set this to 50 so our text is kinda in the middle of our scene, and let's set this to -1200 so we see the text. And let's go to the render settings by hitting Ctrl B, and let's change the aspect to 16:9 and let's set this to 1280 by 720, and let's set the anti-aliasing to best, and we are going to use the default settings. And if we do a render right now, you can see that it renders pretty quickly considering the blurry reflections that we use. So basically that's it. Now we need to animate our text, but before we do that we need to add a deformer, and we are going to use a twist deformer. And let's go to the object for the twist deformer, and let's set the size to 1000, and let's set this to the mode to within box, and we need to rotate this. So let's go to the coordinates and rotate it 90 degrees, and we need to link it to our text here, and we need to set this to 50, and let's go to the top view and set this to 50 as well, so it is in the middle. And if we take this and rotate it, you can see how this twists the text. So we need to set this to 360, and now if we animate our text, the deformer will follow the text. So this is pretty cool because it's a child of the text. And let's go to the first frame, and for the text we need to set it to negative 1500 and set a keyframe. Move 14 frames forward and set this to negative 150 and set a keyframe. And let's go to the last frame here, and we need to set this to 250 and set a keyframe. And now we need to animate the twist as well. So let's go to the first frame and go to the object and set a keyframe for the angle, and we are going to keep it 360 at the first frame. Go to frame 14 and we need to set this to 210 and set a keyframe. And let's go to frame 90, and as you can expect we are going to set this to 0 and set another keyframe here. And if we preview, this is the effect we are creating. So we need to tweak the curves of our animation a bit. So we need to switch to either animation workspace or open the timeline here, and I prefer to open the timeline window here. And let's open the mode text and let's switch to curve mode and select the position, and by default this is how our position curve looks like. And we need to tweak it a bit. First of all, we need to select this and hold down shift and just tweak it a bit like so. Select this, and if we hold down shift we are moving only one of the handles. So we need to set this about something like so, and take the other one and let's position it like so, and take the last one here and we need to move it like so. And now let's select the twist curve and let's see how it looks like, and I think that by default it's okay. So let's minimize that for a second and let's play back the animation again, and this is much better because we have movement. The text moves back until the very end of our animation, and previously it was pretty slow here and almost like a static, and we don't want that. We want movement all the time. So basically that's the animation of the text, and that's all of the work that we are going to do in Cinema 4D. Now we need to go to the render settings again and just save this as a PNG with an alpha channel, and select your output path and set this to all frames, and basically that's it. You have to just render it out and compose it into After Effects. And the cool thing about this setup here is that you can change your text here. For example, it updates pretty quickly, and you just need to type your next title and render it out, and repeat this process a few times until you have all the titles you need. And it basically renders pretty quickly, about 15 or 20 minutes. So it's not so heavy project, considering that we have only titles, and we are going to add motion blur and all the glow and post effects in After Effects. So that's it. Let's render out this, and since I already have all of the sequences that I need. I'm going to import the sequences into After Effects and jump in and continue compositing our project.